What's up, Ravens fans? It is officially the offseason, and that means there's all kinds of questions. The Ravens mailbag is full of your questions, so Cliff Brown and I will do our best to answer them. Start with this one, Cliff from Frankie. Frankie wants to know, are we going to lose Matthew Judon much the same way we lost Darius Smith and C.J. Mosley last year during free agency?
Yeah, I can understand why Ravens fans are worried about this. Matt Judon's coming off his best season. He's their best pass rusher, and the Ravens need pass rushers. So this could go a number of ways. Obviously, they could re-sign him to a long-term deal, which I think they're going to try and do. They could franchise him, they could sign him and trade him, or they could lose him. I really would love to tell you exactly what's going to happen, but I do think the Ravens are going to really try hard to keep him. And the fact that Judon wants to stay here and the fact that they have the flexibility to franchise him, I think makes it a little better situation for them as opposed to last season where they had so many guys you knew that it was going to be tough to keep any of them, and obviously they lost a lot of them.
Now look, I mean, Judon's made it clear that he would love to stay here long term. The Ravens have said they want to keep him, but a lot of times these pass rushers just go for big time money. I mean, Za'Darius is a great example of that. Judon, over the course of his career, has had more impressive stats than Za'Darius had when he hit the market last season, and then Za'Darius went on and had a great season with the Packers. So look, I think we'd love to keep him, but it's going to be tough. So all right, let's keep the questions moving here. The next question comes from Jay, and he wants to know, will we see Hollywood Brown have an even bigger impact next season? I think this is an overwhelming yes. I mean, I think we just kind of scratched the surface of what Hollywood can bring to this team and this offense. He was pretty upfront over the course of the entire season that he wasn't 100% from that foot injury that he suffered at the end of his college career. And so he's a guy, small player, but his greatest asset is his speed. I don't think he ever got to full speed last year, maybe 75, 80%. Now when he gets an entire offseason, he's healthy all offseason, put on maybe a little more muscle in the weight room, I think that the sky's the limit for this guy. He's just going to make an even bigger impact.
Yeah, I was very impressed with his hands. Everybody knew he was fast. I didn't know his hands were as good as they are. And the way he tracks the ball when it's in the air like a center fielder. I mean, I was very impressed with his skill set. And I definitely feel that next year you're going to see the full Hollywood. And with Lamar, that's going to be a combination for a long time. It's going to help this team.
Absolutely. All right, the final question today in the mailbag comes to us from Eric. Eric says, could you see the Ravens drafting 2 linebackers with the first 2 picks in the draft?
Well, if you're talking outside and inside, I think it could happen. We already talked about pass rushers. They need one. So if they were able to get a pass rusher in round 1 or 2 and an inside guy in round 1 or 2, that could happen. Kenneth Murray of Oklahoma is already a guy you're seeing linked to the Ravens, a lot of mock drafts. They love Oklahoma players, so that would give you one linebacker. But I also think they have other needs, and I don't think it's likely that this scenario will happen. But one of the main factors is they address the front 7. They do need both a pass rusher and an inside linebacker. So, yes, this is something, maybe if they saw 2 guys they like, that could happen.
Well, I mean, going back to the first question that we answered was Matthew Judon. If he leaves in free agency, the Ravens may look at this and say the pass rush is absolutely an area that you need to address early in the draft with one of these first-round picks. And then the inside linebacker spot, Josh Bynes, free agent. Patrick Owasso, free agent. So they could potentially have all 3 of those guys not on the team next year. And if that's the case, it would not surprise me at all if they go front 7 early in this year's draft. So look, we love to answer your questions every single week. Send them in on Twitter using the hashtag RavensMailbag. Thanks for watching and have a great day.